Hey guys, Vol here for another very interesting game of Infinity. This time it's combined army against the Japanese sectorial army. So CA versus JSA. Running Sheshkiin, very new model for me. She improved a lot with the HSN3. Check her up on the Army Builder if you want to know a bit more about her. She's a little bit like an alien Achilles. She's speed 6'4" with close combat 24 ability with Berthion, which is her really big draw. Ballistic skill 15 multi-rifle or Red Fury, although I run her at the Red Fury. She can be the lieutenant, although I don't run her as the lieutenant. And she's got a nano screen, so nano screen makes it even faster because you don't have to hug cover and stop short behind walls. You just run straight at the enemy, and it's just a really wonderful feeling after so many games of having to try and make the most of cover. Then she's got decharges and a pulsar and you name it. So really fun list here. It's a 16 order list. Sheshkiin's in the group of 10, and we've got the Specular Killer in the group of 2, and everything else in the list is just standard stuff that I play. Doing tic-tac-toe against Garth here with his Japanese. So you can sort of see the layout of the objectives. We've got a antenna, a satellite dish in the middle. That's the central one, and then there are four blue consoles for the corner ones, and then there are these little command tokens representing the side objectives. But there should be 9 altogether, and you're trying to make a group, little rows of them by connecting them. Bit of a closer view of Sheshkiin going first here, so I'm deploying her right out in the middle. It doesn't matter if my opponent drops something down which can see her straight away like a TR bot, because what can happen is the Datcherites, I can put smoke on her in the first opening round of Impetuous, and then she can just move out nice and safely, so that's fine. So my opponent running some pretty typical stuff. We've got the Kaisotsu Link Team with Missile Launcher and Yuriko Oda, Yojimbo of course. We also have on the left here a Rui Shui, then a TR bot in the middle, and a Lu Duan using Holo Projector level 2. You can also see, if you look carefully, there's a orange camo marker on the mid to right part of the photo where my Specular Killer has deployed, ready to go after his bots. Then, so it's moving out with Sheshkiin first. I'm spending a lot of coordinated orders here because it allows Sheshkiin to move out while the Unidron forward observers are going for the objectives and securing me several in the first turn. That little model behind the objective here is actually my HVT. It's Tariqa, the Hakislam special HVT. So towards the middle of the table, I'm throwing down smoke templates with the Datcheratsi. Notice, guys, that the Red Veil template actually is slightly smaller than the one you get with Operation Ice Storm. I thought that was kind of funny, but just living with it and trying to collect this little objective, which is now within the smoke. He does have something that can shoot like a missile launcher from the other end of the table, so that's why I'm having to do this. So now, with the smoke dropped, the Unidrons can keep pushing forward in this first turn, just burning through all 4 command tokens, just coordinating with Sheshkiin as she gets into position to grab the connections. And now Sheshkiin herself moves in. You can't see it in this image, but at the very top of the photo behind a purple crate far in the distance is a total reaction bot. Just going to try my luck here. She's shooting at Ballistic skill 15, and the bot is shooting at Ballistic skill 11, effectively, because, you know, range bands cancel cover, and then if he does crit, I've got NWI, so there's a small chance I can continue and keep going through it. But anyway, 15's on 4 dice versus 11's on 4 dice. Managed to win that one and destroy the bot, so she can keep moving onward. As she moves around close to the enemy deployment zone, my opponent declares an engage from a Oniwaban which was in hidden deployment. So a bit of a desperation engage here. It effectively means that I'm slowed down and I might lose Sheshkiin in close combat. The Onuwaban is close combat 24, so am I, but he's got martial arts level 3, whereas my Berthion will only reduce his by 3 or add plus 3 to mine. So it will skew the, well, not totally skew, it'll shift the close combat likelihood in his favor. But the thing is, he's engaging and I have a second short skill to use, so I'm firing at him 4 times with a Red Fury. Ballistic skill 14, Ballistic skill 15 with 0 range band bonus, -6 for TO camo, so 9s to hit. With him engaging, he's needing like a 12 on 1 dice, so it's very, very risky. after he rolled it, he managed to succeed and get into close combat, so he was lucky not to get shot there. And then when we actually had a close combat round, he rolls a 1 and I rolled 20, so just instantly critting him and gaining 1 wound. So my opponent, again, quite important to point out, he was lucky to get in close combat, then unlucky to fail the close combat encounter. I think the chances of him winning in close combat was something like 55 to 45 in his favor, or maybe 60 to 40, given the extra level of 3 points over me that he has after the modifiers are accounted for. So what this does is allows Sheshkiin to move around much closer to my opponent's deployment zone, this time shooting bullets into Yojimbo and the Rui Shui. Yojimbo successfully puts down a smoke grenade to counter the shots, but the Rui Shui not so lucky and obliterated by the rain of fire from the Red Fury. And then she's able to move to safety. Now, on the other side of the battlefield, the Specular Killer walking in, and actually just getting right in front of the box in the bottom left there behind the Rui Shui. The Rui Shui deciding not to reveal the real Hollow Echoes, so that means that there's no shootout. You can also see a Dachiratse at the bottom right corner trying to shoot at them with his pistol, but just too far out of range at this point. So you can see Sheshkiin's position here. She's got her nanoscreen. She's gained 2 wounds because technically the only weapon, yields 2 points of life to her, because she reduces him from 1 wound to 0 where he goes unconscious. Then she uses the coup de grace to grab another one. That's all legal. So she's technically on 3 wounds with NWI and a nanoscreen, so quite hard to shift. Yojimbo comes racing towards her with Impetuous, also moving the crazy koalas with him, and then comes into close combat here. Don't forget, guys, what he can do is short skill move to within zone of control, forces me to use a change facing dodge. This is all legal, and then uses the second short skill to come into close combat. And his strategy here is just to lock me down. He doesn't want to spend any orders. He wants to wait until it's my turn, and then if Sheshkiin tries to clear him out in close combat, not only is Yojimbo slightly better at close combat in the same way that the Oniwaban was, but if Sheshkiin does attack, she gets hit by both of the boosting crazy koalas. So really nice, interesting situation here for my opponent. The Luduan now making a move, revealing the real one, having a go at, some Dachiratse and a Unidron here, Specular not revealing, and that results in a bit of a shootout. The Luduan is fine though. And then moving forward with his Kaisotsu Link team, which has been reduced to 4 members because Sheshkiin has actually destroyed the missile launcher in my turn. Yes, I forgot to mention that, but she managed to pick him off as well. And just trying to move up to get some objectives. Then we've got the Luduan moving out into closer to the center of the table. You can also see it's not very clear in this image, but a TO Kema marker next to the middle objective in his deployment zone, right next to the staircase. You can see him next to the yellow crate. So there's some sort of ninja or shinobu or something like that waiting around for a chance to do something. Okay, so Luduan trying to take out this Dachiratse here, but thanks to his mimetism, he's able to get the smoke grenade down and avoid dying. And now my turn. So I've got a Crackot Renegade, which has rolled up metachemistry for 6-4 speed and super jump. And what he does is he comes down here, and the plan is to get him to a point where he can actually berserk into close combat using assault. That will trigger the 2 crazy koalas and possibly killing Yojimbo with a chest mine. If Yojimbo just cuts him down as expected, then both crazy koalas are dead, and Sheshkiin can try and get rid of Yojimbo. Remember, close combat wise, she's on 3 wounds with NWI, and even if she does fail the first and maybe second round against Yojimbo, there's a chance, like over 3 turns of combat, that she can actually just kill him there with Prathion. So what happens is I accidentally move the Crackot Renegade too close to the crazy koalas initially. One of them springs and kills him, so I don't get the charge into Yojimbo. So I thought, stuff it, I'm going to fight away anyway. And what she does is she actually attacks Yojimbo. My opponent's starting to have some even worse luck at this point. Yojimbo actually does not beat Sheshkiin in close combat consistently. There's one round in which he does strip a couple of wounds off her. The crazy koala, I think, didn't manage to get through to her either in terms of causing damage. And then she luckily got a win in close combat to remove him with Prothyon, and remember, for every round she wins, she goes back up a wound, so it's so hard to remove her. And then she can simply just come straight out here, gun down Yuriko, take wounds off the Kaisotsu, so the Kempetai, and she's just looking insane at this stage. Although I don't have as many orders as I would have liked at this point, she kills both the Kaisotsu, both the Kempetai and Yuriko, and just goes into suppression fire. There's nothing else that my opponent can really do there. In the meantime, Specular Killer now revealing itself to shoot at the Luduan, successfully ripping him up, and the game has started to snowball in favour of the combined army. Ninja now appearing in the JSA turn to come back in behind the Dachiratsu and try and kill him. Unfortunately, not managing to do that. The Dachiratsu is actually better in close combat than the ninja. Of course, she does benefit from surprise attack initially, but didn't manage to take him out with the first surprise attack. So just because she's trying to use her knife to stealth her way in, the knife's not double action and he just passes his armor save, so that was kind of unfortunate. Shinobu appears, and if anything can kill Sheshkiin, it's got to be Shinobu, surely. So she moves out towards Sheshkiin, but unfortunately gets discovered by a Unitron, and he's just got so few orders at this point to re-camo and everything like that. So when she moves around, Sheshkiin just discovers her, so what she's got to do, and remember, Sheshkiin was in suppression fire, but there's no way that Shinobu's going to be able to kill her with a combo rifle, so Shinobu deciding to move into close combat without using surprise attack. It's CC 25 with Martial Arts 3 versus CC 24 with Prothyon level 1 or whatever she wants to use. So Shinobu has a massive lead here. We both roll the dice. Shinobu gets a fairly low number. Sheshkiin beats her by, a few points, but after we do the accounting, the modifiers stack up and we've actually rolled the same amount, so the blades just parry each other, and my opponent has run out of orders, and in the final turn putting him into retreat, and winning. So pretty one-sided by the end of it, but just hilarious to see a fight between Shinobu and an Oniwaban, Shinobu winning. Shinobu against Yojimbo and Shinobu and Sheshkiin winning. Sorry, I'm using the wrong terms. Sheshkiin versus Oniwaban, Sheshkiin wins. Sheshkiin versus Yojimbo, Sheshkiin wins. Sheshkiin versus Shinobu, and it's a draw. And Shinobu Sheshkiin, very easy names to mix up. They both start with an S. Really so much fun. That nanoscreen just allows you to go around so much quicker, and she's great at ranged, fantastic in close combat, and the Prothyon rule is really hilarious. Give her a go, guys. She's really entertaining.